should have been dialoguing and talking about these issues long before today. But that's no grand late, that will not ever go. The reason why we did Nayana, because we feel say we get an obligation to the poorer sector of we society for make sure say we reduce the burden on them. Business na business, of course, the first thing na profit. But we for provide the policy environment, the regulatory structure for make sure say we protect the poorer people. Of course, today we did talk about the inflation, the high prices that we don't occur all right around the world. But now we own Nasalu, now we careful. If we get for able regulate them, I think we get for make sure say we engage one. As they say, when they make a lot of recommendations, when they suggest certain things that we government they do, we government need for do, for reduce the burden on that. But we also want to make sure say who will do that, when I said will translate that into reducing the burden on the ordinary people. The truth is, these are extraordinary times. We have no business with the war between the two countries. But we have business with it, because we suffer now. We have no say. And let me talk to many stuff for Fed, they listen to myself. But we people, they suffer. You know, and why we need to get this dialogue? Because in this community, we can able frankly discuss the issues and some of the things they want to raise, are things that way government normally not would think about. Like they talk about making sure that we expunge certain policies, where we discard them, where we don't finish with them, where we don't get new policies. And for make sure say, right from the outset, you are involved in the policy formulation. I think that is a good point to make. And I feel say we don't hear it, and we will take that into consideration. Everything we government they do not for put burden on the business community. Because as a matter of fact, we put burden on the business community, they don't say the transfer. Now we hope to kill them, the ordinary people. So we need for the sit down in the dialogue all the time. It has to be continuous because the world is dynamic. Things that they change very quickly. Which will they talk this week? Next week, sometime another thing they talk about. So the more frequently we meet and discuss honestly, we say the Atuna, when they feel them and waiting the big business difficult to tuna, when I bring them out and we self see how we tweak stuff inside them so that we will be able to make more profit and reduce the burden on the common man and also pay with tax system, then we self will get money. I mean, when I talk about for reduce taxes on certain essential commodities, like rest of government of the 1 cent. 1 cent. 1 cent government of the add per rest. And the other commodities that they don't reduce. So government they lose, of course. Government not the other side where they raise money, now taxes everywhere in the world. So whenever you come to a tax, government don't lose. But we not mind for loss, provided the population not will suffer. And that we not they do for rest and a lot of other things there. And we even go further as soon as I talk for make sure that we provide for the poorer sections of our society, especially during COVID time. When I remember say why other countries that they do lockdown for 1 week, 2 weeks, we refuse for one. We Sierra Leone custom make we own lockdown. Now we are the only country in the world where we get 1 day, 2 days for make we able to and make sure say we release everybody again. Because the hand to much in now we mind. We know say so Monday you just get to go out every day for make you get what you get. So all of what we do, they care towards making life better for our people. Of course, as soon as they do business, it's about making profit and improving. But of course, we are Sierra Leoneans, and at a critical, difficult time like this, we just want to sit down and talk together. We understand ourselves and see how we will make it lighter on the ordinary people. This is the beauty of this conversation. And this is why we are here. So most of which we don't talk, things that they will miss of, the new things that to me, and the ministers that they the tax man they we will sit down back and take everything we don't talk and see how we will filter them, synthesize them, and come up with new ways how we will regulate things then. But suffice it to say, I think we also get for the put voice out there. You know, politics not ever differ from what we do in this country and everywhere else in the world. The present situation is definitely nobody's making, not as a result of poor economic management or bad economic policies. Now things the way we virtually don't get any say. We are completely helpless in the face of waiting that happen. Some of the things that already happen. So waiting will be done, they do all this time. We meet every week. Now foresee how we will pushing the effect on the ordinary people. But if you don't take all tax, then the supply chain, international supply chain disrupted, and the freight they go up. You reduce all your tax, you don't lose everything, where you get, but the freight don't go up. So you people they still suffer. So it becomes counterproductive. You don't get, then the price go up. Now this we don't suffer. We don't cut, we don't reduce all side, we say we reduce. And of course, normally, the next people already they blame, now the businessman then. So the more we talk about this, putting politics aside, the more they will understand we now, and also understand, because me I can tell them say, if this man not to charity, and for make it continue for it as a business, if you bring something where say a rich naira or rich sell the seller, he costs 10,000, you don't expect them to sell at 10,000. So that is the truth. Otherwise, I can just as well tell you say, close down your business, and which a charity they do, tell you money down. They don't dread man. But if you get to continue and try, you must put something on that. The markup. But how we go manage them at a difficult moment like this, so that markup it at least will make you survive, your business survive, because again, there is a symbiotic relationship between we and winner. When I want to make sure say the infrastructure necessary, because if you get to do that, you run a business now, you run your own generator, you do this, you don't get water, communication difficult for you. All of the things there they add up to you which one I not call myself overheads. And businessman they count all the things and if it contact because every penny counts. The day we begin reducing, they put starting cost. After some time they lost. They say that business don't go down. But we have the country, because radio now we all get for makeup. We also say inclusive development, the world. So that make that issue about policy formulation, the involvement of the business community, right from the outset, Mr. Taxman, Minister of Finance, I think say, if I may we sit down, we argue, we agree say, yeah, I don't agree, but anyway, this one better. Then we just impose them, But I don't say, now big argument, because businessman there, everybody comes. So we are ready for the argument. But all which we try to do, again, when I understand, who would they say we want light day, we want the road they make, we want the beginning for school, we want the hospital they make. The money does not come from anywhere, it comes from the taxes. But always believe, and that's me, they always say, we will encourage the business people for make plenty money. When they make plenty money, we they know. They will say they know how they tax them. If they put something on their hand, but they still they buy, they continue. And the more they continue to make money, now the more we sell they get. That is my own philosophy. So the environment where they need for make their business they thrive, the tax money go to watch. They make some man, they not even want that machine because they need to pay almost, but they know how much money they make. So, I hope you're not disadvantaged. Not at all. You're fine. I needed to say this in our local parlance. So we really need for, as a country, when certain things they come, I want to take politics aside. Like the leader for the bike riders or whoever else did the talk, they say fear no day. They begin bold tire. Did they produce fear? It is show to the world saying your country is chaotic. If we want to spend money now, I see do clean, as I open, Sierra Leone, I see fire in that speak. I say, may I go other side. So what we don't go talk, we say, salon are the best place when I can do business. Then some man if you say, it will disadvantage me as a politician by creating chaos unnecessarily when it is not even there. Why would we, Sierra Leoneans, go plunder transformer because that transformer get for key good name? Only in Sierra Leone. Check today, I don't understand. We they spend money for parents there for make people they get alert and they get light. Somebody, some they not to sell it, they go sell them more. Now if I just go for another that area not get this, I not see any side of the world. So this again on an opportunity. Why we they engage in this? Frankly, we can understand we say better, and we can also save it because me sometimes I don't argue. Oh, them businessman that I said, no businessman not the way they just face price. Because here's something if you know rich, when you know able, you know the buyer. Him one sell this and buy the other one. But he can go his because this condition, waiting that happen around the world, we're not a factor minister, they no more to me for explainer. It is better understood. It is your voices are more authentic in explaining this situation. If you don't sell fear at this price, which is the seller? When you don't get a landed there at a particular price, government cannot subsidize. So as high as it will go, we just careful say, come out. No, all out with voice. Now the world price. We don't cut everything we able cut just for make sure say the price not increase. It is not interesting for us to make prices increase. But then the situation, COVID not be done it. And COVID, we get locked now. And let us see anybody wear mask. Pass me in the vice president. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. we get locked in terms of health. I can see another. We get locked, really affect you for care in the hospital. But other side, it don't disrupt so much, and we get to feel the impact because where then they say every day it's a cliche. This is how they call it. The world is like a village today. It is true. But I mean, let's say if would I invade Ukraine, we go for the stuff and great. In price because Ukraine and Russia, and then they produce a huge portion of wheat. We don't know that. So now such a close interconnected society today that something where they happen in California, they affect you directly now. We don't see that. So, but at the end of it all, it's supposed to talk about agriculture. That where we go Vietnam, some of you say that rest we go take no more brinker. They suffer for the rest, and they plant them. We need that at the swamp. And they plant them. They attend to them. they harvest and they process them. And it is 16 hours away from here by air. So they know we just can't take and do it. But waiting will be go for good land. Now for saying our country will be very war, and then they import first. Today, they are one of the biggest rice exporters in the world. They bring over 50 billion to the economy. Billion. And when you watch, we get the same conditions there, like that. We got over 5 million hectares of arable land in this country. The truth is, we have been lazy. And when we accept this as a group, as a people, then we will begin work. This is a country where the coffee number where they produce now billions. Coffee. Not to anything support the transformation, economic transformation, agriculture. Now they mechanize them. They don't bring technology. The research. We the plant rest now. 1 hectare, they give you 1.5 ton. They don't do research saying that you rest in a 7.6 tons per hectare. So you will see why the farmer, we don't break him back 2-3 years, they accommodate the organ freedom. But the same farmer yonder, now 1 hectare no more, the kind of rice where they plant, the water management, the irrigation and everything, 7 or more tons per hectare. And because of the variety, and because they get irrigation, the producer has some 10 liters per year in that 1 hectare. How they not be able to produce enough rice to feed themselves and feed the world? We have to do this. We're not going to escape. Don't go put time as for money to kill them. We have to survive as a country. We can do that. We can do it. They landed there. So that investment in agriculture, and what we should do that one day, poverty they don't have this country. Because over 60% of the people involved in some form of agriculture. But now then back-breaking agriculture. No technology, no nothing. We just go no more. That same old seed where in grandpa they plant, where they put in that van, now the same seed they put back in the ground. It cannot work like that. Every time we plant, we put new seed. Then you go able to get that year. There are improved seeds today for every ecology. We will give you 6-7 tons per hectare. So we learn a lot. I'm not going to go for rest. The one day will be the expensive and rest I go for. Because they don't get free rest too. They work. They don't improve. Of course, machine they don't come in now. So you know they go to they break you back and so on and so forth. But I insisted on going. I'm not one send any minister when they bring reports for me. I want to go see myself, feel the people. For make I understand. Because when we talk, somebody said, my grandma in the talk. You know to agriculture, but what you see under. That's why they want me salon go. Salon, we know for the import, 1 grains the rest of this country. We can do it. And that the people there, in fact, they are so welcoming. As a matter of fact, then don't ask, they ask before you invite them now. They say, oh, can, 1 week, they say, when I don't think too much, when I look look with this, one come. Ministers, this, that, then they come. They say, because we have the same conditions, and we work for providing the way we know, so that oneself will transform. Why should we do that one day? Why will they talk about rice? Plenty other things they can inside. Who said that they produce the fish? There are plenty fish. The fish where they produce, I've not been checking that one day. But I'm sure say the one way then they men, they pass the one with the catch now the water, now the sea. I see a 24/7 facility where it just they produce processed fish. And the fish themselves, they already produce it now. In 1 hectare, they do 600 tons of fish. 600 tons of fish in a hectare. So when in Garissa will get fresh water, they are coming. We have to do it. It's not private sector, not the government. There is supply chain to America. We have it all. One of the business people, be a little more ambitious. Be more creative. Think afresh. Not to their old business then. Government contracts, by the time they pay you, the bank cannot finish you. When I know that story, not so. But when I see money away for government contract. Frankly speaking, not that we don't want to pay, but we need taxes for pay. They will not get it. If they reduce the taxes, they no more. So which will they get is small. But really, I wish I be for able to care on all, but now that they come, we want to encourage them. How they do them. It looks like a miracle. But it is not a miracle. It is just the concerted effort of the nation. Say, and frankly speaking, if we get the right capital, we invest them correctly, within 5 years we can stop for import rice. We just need to get the requisite acreage, and they're ready for giving the seed rice and help you for begin produce we rest the seed rice, the one we plant. Every time we plant, you for plant fresh seed. Not to that old seed where you go put society, you know, if you plant that one, they use the wood on. It not going to be 6 or 7 anymore. You planted the other year, it will go down to 4. As in the planter, now we rest now 1 point something per hectare. And just imagine how difficult it is to produce. And we now want to produce per year. Then the young rest of what they don't manipulate. 95 days. They don't ready for cut. 95 days. These, they are all available. In Brekana, we developed the water management system, irrigation, and the implants now. So that same plant, then if you say I'm not getting plenty land, that is the same place that you could produce rest in 3 days per year. And now for each number, make you eat up. Make you not buy rest again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not coming out for grammar. It is for this simple understanding. For more than say there is a symbiotic relationship between winner and we. And what we do when they do, when I still get this country at heart, when they try, nobody wants to raise price to for it. It's painful. In fact, it make when I business go before because if I'm not getting money, I'm not raise the price, and then they die. Either they suffer, they tease it on you, you know, the service or whatever. I need them, I'm not able to afford them. You get that, you want to sell them, but you said no go option, you no go option and no more so. You die get money, if not the last things that at least many people need money. But the public does not understand that if we don't, we sit down, if we not talk about both the talk and the same politician. But you say when they import, just say that this, but like the other issues about port charges, these are things where we need to talk about. Because we start the struggle with this. The port, you know, the demurrage, which is the GST thing, we will get for Sudan and look at it, especially at this point in time. Why we set the push for GST? Because now the only people who get money. Who they pay for them picking them? Where they can bring the bill? 50 billion for this time, for them to picking them. Who have to pay? We know the print more. We the generator economically. You know, and it's all for government to not the other way. Not taxes. Now they know what revenue they come on. So, I mean, when I want for people to understand that because again, the other thing that this is not about school business, but school is so important. School is so important that we therefore need for the put that money inside the school and then. When I begin them, They will speak grammar pass way. They will make una better. That is the best investment. Now that make nobody, you criticize me, you not criticize me. Let me kill the head with the loader with the book. Now the best thing now is so matter refusal now, but when them picking them will begin better. We will see we picking them become competitive around the world. Like how Salon be there before. When you produce your document anywhere in England, then they rush self for take you because they know the value. But we let's sit down, we all with the support them teacher them, and they became there for the cheap, for the piper in our exam. And that's what they do. You know, parents, teacher, principal, everybody, how can we connive to kill our children? That is what we are doing. Who begin as someone saying our human rights abuse? But how can you do that? When I know, what you make when I did today, that's small thing at the age. That's small thing at the as a small country, waiting to make you powerful now, waiting to be the stuff, now give me the age. That was our progress. The anthems of West Africa. You go to Oxford said, they don't say, this is from Sierra Leone. I can take him or her without any qualms. We have to regain that glory. We can do it. But we can only do it successfully in this concerted manner. So, which we make within our today, because we have to explain this. We will do politics with the suffer. We will explain, they say the man, if he meet rest, almost the rest don't go in that. I never explain. They say global. They don't understand that. But I think, when, especially at this point in time, the world they go through unusual times, I must say. Really. When I all know. The things that just come out, we not know say they come out. But we get to deal with the ramifications. And I want to make, one time like this come, no, not talk along political lines. Don't be frank with your people. Because we have a lot of young people who know their job. The youth urge they are there. Look that day. Why they go born tired to produce fear? That day we are rushing with the run after the one there. They know how many times the OMC day plus the dealers, the transporters, how we squeeze them. We don't know how we squeeze them. For me, we not increase once itself. That is all for make it not go up at all. So may we all come out and talk. Otherwise, if we go no more, the next election they for so. But at least you say, "Na so I buy. I don't transport them from here to here. Na so I pay." So the least we have to sell, if na one cent, say man, you don't pass the But that one cent, if you are just a dealer, I get generator, I go for run generator, I get the whole station, I get other things there, administrative costs. Now that same fear then I get for pay for that one day. If not, I close down. So when we not explain and then proper business time, when we not able to give him do properly, because I'm not a businessman, I think the people will understand. It is hard, it is difficult for people. No amount of grammar, no go with etc. But the more we talk, the more they will understand, they will go through this. And we pray for more go through this together successfully, so that we will able to carry on again. We hope that the prices that they will come back to. Most of the recommendations that we don't make, people will if you call some of them now, for really sit down and see how we will do it. We set one for the taxes, we not set one for the profit, a healthy profit margin, but there is always a common ground where we can arrive at a solution where we make una continue with our businesses, which is our business actually as a government. Provide that ecosystem when our businesses they thrive. Every business. Even the one without the pay tax, they take care of your home. They take care of your picking. So now with business for make sure in that business they not just survive, but if 5, some man gets, they're not the careful big. So, for me, this is the beauty of this conversation. It's a conversation, and we go structure them so that in future, it is not too official. So tell me no go there, but when I go really bring out issues, then I will can join so that we self-understand, because it's fine for understand what's in the happen in society. It comes better from listening to you. Things that they want to be talk, we not remember. Because the Ministry of Finance, that's how they want to produce the money. That is what we tell them. So that's how they go any kind of way. But there is always somewhere where we can get, what's necessary for the society, good for we all. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you. We all will not come today. We can all get a stake in Sierra Leone. If it is good for us all. If it's bad for all. But we want for me better for women. We don't start a good job. Unfortunately, the good work they do, the COVID and this other wahala,